The second round of the Kumho Tyre New South Wales Sports Sedans Championship is proudly brought to you by the Astor Hotel Motel and these valued partners. The 2021 National Sports Sedans Series is proudly brought to you by Precision International, all your engine needs. The National Sports Sedans Series headed to Wakefield Park to join the New South Wales Sports Sedans for their opening round, and taking pole position was Thomas Randall.
Look, firstly, just got to thank all the boys from Dream Motorsport, my dad, Adrian, Jeff, all the boys back who's helped put the car together every Wednesday night. Barry, Dave Gale, and Daniel Young for all the carbon work, fixing the door. We had a few issues there. But anyway, yeah, it's pretty awesome for a Saab to be on pole in front of an Aston. So nice to get the old girl back out after about 22 months and to be up the front on pole is a real credit to everyone who's rebuilt the car. We tried to do a test day at Winton last week, but didn't last the session. So to have lasted all the practice so far this weekend and to qualify on pole is just a real credit to everyone, and just got to thank Sky Sands, Castrol, AZ Defence, Herzog Steel for all their support, and it's great to be here at sunny Wakefield Park.
A newcomer to the category, debuting a car that's very well known, is Tim Tritton.
Yeah, I know the TA2s are great. I just wanted to have a bit of a change, and I didn't really come to grips, I suppose, with the TA2 so much, so I thought this came up for sale and I wanted to buy and have a bit of a play with it over COVID, and then it ended up running it in the National Series this year. When we went out to Dummy Good, we had no clutch, and then we just had to put up with that, so I had to really fiddle with that. I pretty much missed most of the gears around the track for the first session, but the boys have fixed it now, which is good, so we should be ready to go. I think there's a bit more time in it, or a lot more time in the time I did, so I'm pretty happy really. I'd just like to thank also Ryco, 24/7 and EFS, Everyday Finance Solutions. They've been really helpful to getting me on the track.
Well, a huge field of sports sedans making their way to Wakefield Park for the second round of the Kumho Tyre New South Wales Sports Sedans Championship, with the opening round of the Precision International National Sports Sedans Series. You can see out in front, Gary O'Brien, you've got Thomas Randall leading the way up the hill for the first time, and in behind him, supercar driver Andre Heimgartner.
This has to be the most explosive field of sports sedans you're likely to see in our neck of the woods in a long time. And look at it, you can just see by the quality of the field. Brad Shields we're seeing out the front of the Steve Lacey car as they go through in this opening lap, and already you can see Randall and Heimgartner starting to pull away, and we've got Tomasi in third spot, and him back to the field. We've got Chris Jackson chasing Stewart inward down through turn 8, and you can see even behind that there's even more cars. Tim Tritton in Honda Prelude out of Victoria, another one that's made the trip up from down south, complaining about how cold the weather was at Wakefield Park, and it's certainly fined up quite nicely now as you can see them all finding their way around. There's Phil Ryan in one of the only couple of Division 2 cars here this weekend, being chased through by there's that white Camaro of Andrew Brown for Victoria, Trans Am spec car, and you could see Shane Woodman in a car that's had a bit of drama this weekend. They've had some problems with it, but get going. And well, that's what we didn't expect to see, is Heimgartner spinning the Aston Martin down at turn 10. Certainly it's great for this car to have this car here this weekend. It is a phenomenal weapon, and he's driving it really well up until this point, of course.
Great to see him as well being recruited, I guess you could say, by the Duggan family hotel team. Mark Duggan, a long-time supporter of New South Wales Sports Sedans, taking a break out of the car this round and letting Andre take the wheel, and hasn't he showed some great effort so far? Look at that, Steve Lacey all over the back of Michael Robinson around the back section of the circuit. They just caught those Division 3 Commodores at exactly the wrong time. Rod Monahan and Joshua Pillars having a good little ding-dong battle is there, and those two fighting for position as out in front. Robinson drives back past Steve Lacey. Now, Lacey's thing is not the slowest in a straight line.
Yeah, but it's not the fastest.
No, obviously.
We've just seen Robinson go past him down the straight. But Lacey seems to get pulled a better drive out of the corners, and I suspect that's got a lot to do with local knowledge, having raced the state championship here for so long. And you could see he pulls the Monaro back in across the top of the track and down through turn 5, down to 6, and here we are down at turn 8. You watch out of this corner and the next one in particular, you'll be all over that Monaro, And we see it again because he knows his corner better. He knows how to get the thing out into that back straight, and he carries enough momentum to get him down the inside, and again he'll take away that front running position. Now, will Robbo get him down before the end of the straight? Wait and see.
I think he may well do it. Keep an eye out to the left of the car. There he is. Robinson blast past again. Of course, huge thanks to the Astor Hotel Motel for their support of the Kumho Tyres New South Wales Sports Sedans Championship with the Precision International National Sports Sedans Series here at Wakefield Park this weekend. And as we come around, we've got Trenton now under pressure from Scott Cameron. He made a welcome return to the category at Sydney Motorsport Park, and in that VS Commodore seems to be continuing that strong form here at Wakefield.
Well, this is the second round of the Kumho Tyre New South Wales Sports Sedan Championship, the opening round for the Precision International Australian Sports Sedan Series. So these guys, the local guys, have got a little bit more track time under their belts, although a lot of the national guys did go and do a test day at Winton Raceway, and unfortunately that's where we lost the Audi. Well, a bit of a bump in the road has caused Lacey to have a bit of a drama there. We got an in-car of it as well. But the point I was making, the Audi of John Goulet with Jordan Caruso at the wheel, unfortunately had an engine drama, and not so much an engine drama, but just an off-track drama for Scott Cameron in that Commodore that
Just locked the rear brakes, hasn't he? As he's come to the end.
and it's great to see that pack out this year. That car's been sitting in the garage for a while. There's our race leader, Tom Randall, in the Saab, Chef powered, and probably the latest spec sports sedan running around at the moment. I think it's had a bit of a birthday since its last run, and it shows it too as he coming down towards what I would suspect to be the last lap board, going out, checkered flag out as well, and the checkered flag goes to Tom Randall. You can see that he's won this pretty easy. And here's the battle for second, as we can still see that Robbo leads. Again, gets that Lacey gets that better run out of the corner, and here comes Lacey now. Gets down the inside once again. Is he going to be able to hold on to it, or is Robertson going to make a road back on the inside of him? Well, a bit of a drama there. I suspect he's had a drama of some sort, and he's slowed phenomenally down the straight. Will hold on to that position though.
Here's the replay on board with Steve Lacey, and as he changes gears, you just hear something breaks in the rear end of that car, and he's freewheeling down the straight. So I dare say an axle's let go or something of the like as they cross the line for the first race of the Kumho Tyre New South Wales Sports Sedans Championship with the Precision International Sports Sedans Series. Proudly brought to you by the Astor Hotel this weekend. Thomas Randall leading home, Steve Tomasi, Brad Shields, Michael Robinson and Steve Lacey rounding out your five. Wakefield Park Track Days. These track days provide opportunities for motoring enthusiasts to test the capabilities of their vehicles under controlled conditions on Wakefield Park's track. It's open to all types of cars, and sessions include open wheelers, race cars, street cars, supercarts, and driver training is available. There's heaps of amenities on site for a great day out, and group bookings are available. Head to the Wakefield Park website for more information. Welcome back to Blendline TV for this, the second round of the Precision International National Sports Sedan Series with the Kumho Tyres New South Wales Sports Sedans, proudly brought to you by the Astor Hotel Motel this weekend at Wakefield Park. We've got race 2 highlights underway, and you can see leading the field down through turn 1 was Tom Randall, and around goes the Calibra of Chris Jackson in the early stages.
Yeah, we found out the drama with Steve Lacey's car. It broke what we believe is something, the inner axle in the transaxle, the back of that car, and fortunately it's been fixed. He's coming through the field, as we can see, from way back towards the rear of the grid. Well, not the rear of the grid, but certainly up in amongst the heavy hitters at the front of the field.
We've got Andre Heimgartner who's had a great opening lap. He's picked up a couple of positions, but it's going to be safety car as Chris Jackson could not restart that CSJ Engineering Holden Calibra. Great to see it back at the Kumho Tyre New South Wales Sports Sedans rounds. That car's had a lot of development. So taking a look at the replay from the start, and have a go at this from Andre Heimgartner. 2 wheels in the grass as he goes around Tim Tritton down into turn 1. He'll look to the inside of Inwood as well. In front of him, that's Chris Jackson. The Calibra just gets a little bit loose, almost a touch, and he rotates back through the field. Very, very close moment there, Gary.
Very tight indeed. In the meantime, here we are with the green flags. Resumption of this race. Tomasi chasing Randall. And in third spot, it looks like we've got the Shields in the Fiat. And already up the fourth spot would be Heimgartner.
Isn't Shields doing great in that Fiat at the moment? They've really got that thing on song. Of course, he's leading the Kumho Tyre New South Wales Sports Sedans Championship outright after round one, where Birrell Chetton and Steve Lacey both faltered and are looking to regain those points. Birrell Chetton a long way down the field in this one as well, having to drive from the back of it after some dramas for the first race.
Yeah, unfortunately didn't finish the first race. And it's good to see Stephen Copping back as well in the ex-supercar Perkins Engineering VZ Commodore.
He's all over the back of the Landers signed BMW as they come through the field. At the moment, those guys sitting just outside the top 10, or just on the edge of the top 10, sorry. Trenton in 10th place, trying to chase down Cameron, not able to get past him. They resume their battle from the opening race of the weekend, and there is Birrell Chetton, and behind him Nick Smith in the RX-7 that we saw have such a good opening round with the New South Wales Sports Sedans. He's had a tough first race here this weekend and looking to make up positions.
Yeah, he actually didn't get out for the first race while they were rebuilding the drive line in that car, but he certainly got it going, and fresh paint on it for this meeting, not so yellowy. It's more of a day glowy green colour at the moment.
It's like someone dumped a highlighter on it, isn't it? It's hard to pick up on the cameras at certain points because it just glares at you. So definitely turning heads is Nick Smith, as down the inside Birrell Chetton takes the position from Brown. Two different styles of Camaro there, running different body.
Yeah, we had Trans Air spec car and a sports sedan spec machine. And here's another of the sports sedan spec Camaros. Of course, that's Steve Lacey chasing down Brad Shields. And
that's our leader. So Tomasi's pulled to the inside on the run up the hill. That is not ideal. That's not a great start for his season. And not very good for him in this race, obviously. You don't want to be parked in mid-race as Steve Lacey throws it down the inside of Brad Shields. He saw his opportunity, braked as late as he could and took the position away. And that effectively becomes a pass for second in the race. Of course, out in front, Tomasi leads the way quite comfortably now.
yeah, you were not much difference between the straight line performance of those two cars, but certainly Lacey threw it down the inside, hoping to pull it up and managed to get the job done. Meanwhile, we've got going threading his way through from the back of the field, of course, is Stephen Tomasi in the Calibra.
He leads the way on this, the final lap, working his way through some of the Division 2 and 3 cars who are having their own great battles. Of course, there's plenty of ways you can go racing in the New South Wales Sports Sedans Championship, proudly brought to you by Astor Hotel Motel this weekend. We thank them for their support, and if you want to get out there trackside, the car with the headlights on actually also runs across improved production and multiple other endurance races as well, so there's plenty of ways to get racing, so make sure to get trackside and check out some of these cars. But at the moment, Steve Tomasi is going to show a clean pair of heels, inherited the lead and capitalised on that to be able to bring it home for the full championship points on offer for race 2. And Steve Lacey bringing it across the line in second place. Third went to Brad Shields. Stuart Inwood led home Michael Robinson in fourth and fifth place on the road. Wakefield Park Track Days. These track days provide opportunities for motoring enthusiasts to test the capabilities of their vehicles under controlled conditions on Wakefield Park's track. It's open to all types of cars, and sessions include open wheelers, race cars, street cars, supercarts, and driver training is available. There's heaps of amenities on site for a great day out, and group bookings are available. Head to the Wakefield Park website for more information.
Third and final race for Sports Sedans this weekend, national and state championship points on offer, and there we go, Tomasi leads the way. Unfortunately, we haven't got rounded for this one. They've done an input shaft on the transaxle. Nick Smith getting pushed a little bit wide there by Cam Bullis out of turn 2. So make their way up towards the top of the field, and you can see Shields in second at this stage. And look at this field. I just can't get over how good this field is. And unfortunately, Heimgartner got a drive through. Chetton got a drive through for overlapping on the restart, the pair of them. So they've got to come back through the field once again. And Heimgartner's one making up heaps of ground. Started out of 11th and already picked up a handful of positions.
What a fantastic weekend of racing we've had presented to us here this weekend by the Astor Hotel Motel. Make sure if you're in Goulburn for any racing, any track days, anything like that, stop in at the Astor, have a meal, maybe stay the night and tell them that you're down there because they're supporting grassroots motorsport as they continue to make sure that you can see sports sedans here on Blendline TV. It looks like, Steve Tomasi, I think, might have had a lock-up down through 1 and 2. Andre Heimgartner gets inward through 1. He's up behind Tritton now. Inwood and Tritton have been together for most of this weekend, haven't they?
Have.
Not
They've
separated
been,
by much.
They've been dicing fairly constantly, along with Michael Robertson and Steve Lacey when they were together in turn one, in race 1, and Tritton and Inwood still there. There's another position gained, as we can see Heimgartner down the inside of Robertson at turn 10, and the next one he'll be lining up will be Lacey, then Shields. Can he get to the front of this field? This is going to be intriguing because he's putting in some pretty quick times at the moment and not having any dramas out in front of him as he lines up to get Steve Lacey down at turn 8. Not quite there. No, we'll do it here on the straight. Got plenty of horsepower, and as Mark Duggan said when they repounded car red, it's worth another 25 horsepower.
I think he's found that 25, hasn't he? Is the way he's charging through the field at the moment. Inwood and Tritton have swapped positions while all of that's been going on, and now Inwood is out after Robinson, who we know has a lot of horsepower under the bonnet of that one, and also behind Shane Bradford. There he is in the Chev. He's having a good run to finish off the weekend.
Yeah, that's a Trans Am Spec car built in 1998 by Riley and Scott in America. Ran in those colours back in the day and came here via New Zealand. Heimgartner now takes Shields in second spot. There's Tomasi. Look how far down the road he is. Still with laps unfolding though. Still time to perhaps catch him. Good to see Jackson back. Admitted his own mistake in race 2, cost him a result. As Nick Smith moves in on the back of him, Nick Smith will be just happy to complete a race, won't he?
He's definitely looking forward to just getting a race under his belt in that car. He's had so many dramas. He's had such a good start to the season. Races 1 and 2 at Sydney Motorsport Park were going so well for him. Unfortunately, race 1 he saw a drama. Race 2 he was able to bring it home, and then race 3 that unfortunate accident down into turn 1. He's had another tough weekend here at Wakefield Park, but showing the class that he is and the commitment he has over such a long period to sports sedans. He's got that car back out there, battling another long-time campaigner in Chris Jackson, and they get through now onto the back of the Monaro just in front. Starting to fall into their clutches. Very good.
It's good to see the Mazda's got a number on it that's big enough to read now too.
Exactly.
It had the tiniest number on it before. Now it's got a nice big one. It must have come off a go-kart or something initially, his race number. That one's quite easy to read.
Feedback to heart there with that one, didn't he? It's Chris Jackson in the 26. And the Libra back out there having a good run. These guys charging through the field, and then you got Shane Woodman and Simon Copping in the industry car battling again. These two seem to find themselves together on track very, very regularly whenever they race national together, don't they?
Yeah, well, this is still a project under development, this BMW with Chev power. A lot of the cars, of course, do have Chev engines. There's Bradford, of course, and the Trans Am Spec cars are a little bit different from a sports sedan. Engine is actually in front of the firewall where they would normally be in a road car, whereas many of the sports sedans, they do move them back quite significantly.
There's one to the inside, flames out the exhaust. That thing was spectacular to look at earlier on in the weekend, flaming out of both side exhausts. Hopefully some of the photographers captured some imagery of that, because it was absolutely fantastic to look at. And here's Daniel Nolan in the 71 RX-7. He's putting pressure on Tritton. It looks like he might have something coming out the rear of that car.
Coming out the exhaust too.
Hasn't slowed him down though. Look at that. He uses the grass and passes on the inside.
Well, I believe that car's supposed to be a Division 2 car, but it's certainly not performing like one. It's up amongst some of the heavy hitters.
He's got the rotary humming in that thing, doesn't he? He looks now to defend from Tritton, who's trying to put the Prelude down the inside, and does get the job done down the main straight. There's no substitute for cubic inches there, with a couple of V8s forcing their way past.
Well, I guess the rotary power as well.
Yeah.
So, and Copping finds himself battling a rotary. Normally he's up against Brad Churls in the Fiat, but he's been out of the game a little while, so it's taking him a little while to find his feet. There's there's a gap between first and second. That's sort of just diminished in next to no time. So Heimgartner on the charge, will be trying to wrestle away a win for Mark Duggan and his team this weekend. And no doubt Steve Tomasi, who, even if he finishes second, will win the round, courtesy of the fact that Randall was a non-finisher in the earlier race, and Scott Cameron trying to mind his own business. But
It's hard to do on this track, isn't it?
yeah, and it's allowed Tomasi just to slip a little bit wide, almost opened the door for Heimgartner to get through there. He didn't quite jump on it.
And see how hard Tomasi is driving to try to stay in front of Heimgartner here with a lap and a half remaining in the late afternoon sun at Wakefield Park. Proudly brought to you by the Astor Hotel Motel this weekend. The Kumho Tyres New South Wales Sports Sedans Championship Precision International Australian Sports Sedans Series coming down to the wire for the final race of the weekend. Tomasi just needs to hold on for one more lap against Heimgartner. It's going to be a tough task, you'd have to say.
Well, you know, he's only got to keep the car in the right position on the track. He should be able to do it. There wouldn't be that big a performance gap between those two cars. And we've noted in the past that the Calibra's got plenty of straight line speed, but his tyres have had a bit more use than what Heimgartner's had. And he actually did the first race on a used set. So here we go up across the top of the hill. And it's still Tomasi from Heimgartner. Oh, is it? No. There's been a change there. Now, was Tomasi balked a little bit by the Jackson Calibra as well?
He definitely slid a little down the hill.
He did.
He just ended up
well,
wide of the
balked's
line.
probably not the right word. He's probably mindful of where Jackson was. But Heimgartner got the lead. That was the important part from as far as he's concerned. And around through the final corner, you can see that Heimgartner will take the checkered flag. He brings it out on the straight. Tomasi in second will take the round. And what a race.
Absolutely brilliant way to finish things off here for the Precision International National Sports Sedans Series with the Kumho Tyres New South Wales Sports Sedans, proudly brought to you by the Astor Hotel Motel this weekend at Wakefield Park. A thrilling end to the weekend. Andre Heimgartner holding on to the line to Steve Tomasi. Brad Shields will cross the line in third place, and the first of the Kumho Tyre New South Wales Sports Sedans competitors, Steve Lacey, Stuart Inwood, Michael Robertson, Shane Broadford, Shane Woodman, Nick Smith and Tim Tritton rounding out your top 10 for the final race of the weekend.
Yeah, it's been an eventful weekend. It's really cool to come out on top, I guess, in the last race for the Duggan family racing team. So yeah, it's really cool to win that last race, but wasn't without some issues earlier on. We had a few things we needed to tune up with the car, but they did an amazing job. And in the last race, the car was very, very good and much improved on when we started the weekend. So yeah, really cool. It's sort of cool that I can come along and help them in that way. But yeah, amazing experience, and I'd love to do it again in the future.
Yeah, well, I found out after he put his fresh tyres on for that race, so that's how he had that little edge on me. And then it sort of evened back out in the last one. He took the best out of him, so I was able to get back past and hold a buffer for the whole race, so it was really good. A few solid results. It was really cool to get some outright podium in the national field, so that was really cool, and some good points for the state series too.
Look, to be honest, yesterday was one of those things. Pretty much got to where I could get, and then literally rolled over the line. It broke on the last corner, so in some ways we were very lucky to get a result at all, but very pleased to have the car back together this morning and got on with it. So we've been working hard and long behind the scenes for a while, and these opportunities to have the joint rounds with the nationals and states together, they're the fastest tin tops in the country, and we get them on the track and we have a good go, and the following there, we've seen that through Blendline. It's been great. Look, at the moment, we're not planning to go the next round at Morgan Park. Mind you, this sort of changes things somewhat, but we'll worry about that tomorrow. But yeah, we'll certainly be at the next state round.
Yeah, it was a great race. The back markers definitely made it a tricky situation. It's a bit of a spanner in the works. Felt like towards the end I was doing all the legwork and Andre just slipping in, which that's the only option he was there to do. Obviously, tyres ran out of steam, and obviously my little mistake judging a pass on a back marker cost me the lead in the last race. But overall, the weekend was great, faster than we've ever been by a second. Haven't been in the car for racing in like 2 years, so we're thrilled that everything's working. I haven't raced at Morgan Park since 2009, so it's a good 10 years. But leaving a twisty track like this, going to another twisty track, I feel pretty confident. We made some big gains on small tracks this weekend, so should be a good result as well.
Well, we hope you've enjoyed all the action here on Blendline TV from the opening round of the Precision International National Sports Sedans Series with the Kumho Tyres New South Wales Sports Sedans second round. New South Wales Sports Sedans now head to Sydney Motorsport Park for their third round coming up later on in August, while the National Sports Sedans Series heads to Morgan Park. Make sure to check out both categories' websites for more information.